Now Zamalek fans, they want to know, like specifically Zamalek fans, because you have a big history with Zamalek. How did you start your journey as a football player?
Well, first, to be a player, you have to have talent, you know. I think it's a talent, a gift from God. And then I think we started from the school. In the primary school, each time we have a short break, you know, we assemble ourselves as friends and colleagues, and then we start to play. And I know it's very, very interesting in the school then, when everybody selects the good players to be with them. But of course, I started my journey in the school. From the primary school, I moved to the secondary school. I played in the Principal Cup. We used to call it Principal Cups, involving different schools. So we played, and from there, I was able, you know, I moved to Niger Loss. From there, I moved to Niger Loss. It was like kind of a state team. It was a state team. We have a state league. And then from state league, I moved to Julius Berger. Somebody spotted me, and you know, they took me to Julius Berger. And I moved to Julius Berger.
Then you moved to Zamalek.
And then from Julius Berger, I moved to Zamalek. I was invited in the national team of the under-23 Olympic team. When we came to Cairo to play All-Africans game in Ismailia, we were in the same group with Egypt. I think after our first game against Egypt, which we won 2-1, you know, then from there, I think Zamalek picked interest.
It was like a surprise for you that you moved to Zamalek, or like you were happy when you heard that Zamalek is interested in Eimanoiel and Monique?
Well, actually, before we came to Egypt, you know, we went to Holland for preparation towards to the tournament. And there were some teams, after some friendly games, they were interested with me, with Babangida. But in the All-Africans game, when we came here, you know, and that was when I was able to stabilize myself and show the kind of quality I have. And I think this was when Zamalek, you know, piqued interest.
Was it a dream for every African player at that time to go to Zamalek and play in Zamalek, one of the biggest teams in Africa at that time?
Well, I have to be honest to you, I was not much aware about Zamalek when I came to Zamalek. It was after when I came here, then I realized how big the club was, and how important in Egypt, the rivalry between Zamalek and Ali. And then it was when I came here I started to realize how huge it was to play in Zamalek or to play in Ali, and how huge it was to play the derby between Zamalek and Ali. But of course, you know, I say thank God, alhamdulillah, that I came. And not only coming, I was able at least to contribute to the success of the team. And I think that is the objective of me coming to Zamalek. And I'm grateful to Zamalek, you know.
Do you remember the first game for you in Zamalek?
I remember the first game. I think after the All-Africans game, you know, I moved back to Nigeria, and immediately I have to come back again. If I'm not mistaken, either it's a Mahala or yeah, I remember the game. I came in, and that game was on Friday. In the afternoon, we played that game, and I only trained twice with Zamalek, so there was no much room to know the players or to know much about the game or the system and the environment. But it was not a good game for me in Mahala, and everybody was saying, Heather, what's this? People say it's not the same Captain Eimanoiel, but you know.
You challenge yourself.
I challenged myself. So what I was doing every day, because most of the time we train in the evening, so I was going to the club every day, and at least every morning I would do 1 hour running.
1 hour running?
1 hour running.
Before the practice starts?
Before the practice starts in the evening. So I was able to raise up my fitness level.
You didn't start as a striker, Mr. Eimanoiel, right?
No, I'm not a striker. I'm a winger to midfielder, but of course, sometimes when there's need, for you to assume responsibility to help your team. I have done that in Zamalek. I have done that in Sporting Lisbon. I could remember with Carlos Queiroz was our coach. There was there was a time, you know, he moved me to the striking role. So I'm a kind of player, I'm always open to the team.
When you came to Zamalek, who helped you like break the break the feeling of anxiety, like coming to Zamalek along with Egyptian friends or like mates? Who were the first companions or friends in the team who helped Eimanoul and became his best friends?
Well, when I came, I think when you came to a place new, you know, you have to be a little bit observative. You try to observe, to see your surrounding, know whom you can go with. Of course, I ended up having more spending time with Nabi Mahmoud, you know, due to when we go into the camp, I will go with him in his car. Then I don't have car, you know. I think this made me to have more relationship, and this gave way also for him to know me more. We always talk, and you know, regardless of he doesn't speak English much.
You just mentioned Nabil Mahmoud now. Let me show you a video like where Nabil Mahmoud, when he knows you're my guest, he insisted on like shooting this video, and it's translated. One of the memories.
Yeah. It's a very great guy, very good defender, very strong, and you know, I think his presence in the defensive line was very, very interesting. It's just that unfortunately this time we have great players. We have Ashraf Kazem, we have Captain Ishamiaka. But each time he has a chance.
A funny moment which happened.
It's great. See, yeah, the bee. I helped him to remove the bee. I brought some African magic to help him.
Can you tell us?
It's a way of, you know, I think when we were young, because I grew up in the village, you know, I grew up with my mother, my grandmother, and my grandfather. And we used to go to the farm to help, you know. And when you have an insect that bites you, you try to bring it out immediately by using your teeth to peel it out. So when the bee stink on him, then I told him, don't worry, I will remove it for you. Then I helped him. But of course, like I said, I respect him much, you know. And I always say thank you to him, because also he's getting close to me, you know, helped me a lot also to adapt in the club. Although I have a very good relationship with all the players.
So, Eimanoul, what was the most precious goal in your journey with Zamalek?
Well, I could remember the goal that we scored in, if I'm not mistaken, in Tanta in Mahala, 3-0, that won the league. I remember that match. If we lose that game, and if Ali won their game at home, they will win the league. So it was a very tense, the players were tense. Everybody was, you know, nervous, anxious to win the game. And I could remember when we get to the stadium, I was close to Annie Ramsey, the left, yeah. And everybody was like this, quiet. And then I looked at everybody and I said to them, hey, come on, captain, come on, hey, let's go and play, we'll win this game, you know. Everybody said, Taban, yes, okay. But you could see the nervousness in everybody. But of course, we understood the magnitude, the expectation, because if you win that match, the league is over. And if you lose that game, and Ali win their game, that means they won the league. And when we started the game, I was privileged to score 3 goals, and I think those goals make the game much easier for us. And when we came back to Cairo, where I never knew what was happening. When we come down from the bridge to Zamalek Street, and we saw a lot of crowd. It was amazing, a lot of people on the street celebrating already. So our bus could no longer move. So then I just came down from the bus and take my bag and then go home, because I was living in Mohansin, close to the club. So, and then the next day I came to the club. That was when you start to realize the importance of what we have done over there, and people continue to talk about it. Although then I couldn't understand much Arabic, what people say, but of course you could see the reflection in the face of people, the joy, the happiness, the Zamalek fans, people were happy about.
Coach Eimanoul, do you remember the goal against Ahli when you're like in the center of the court and like you reached till the goal of Ahli and like you shooted the goal? You passed every player, every single player of Ahli. Like the ball was like a magnet in your feet from the center till the goal.
I remember the goal. That was in Arab Contractor Stadium.
Yeah.
Arab Contractor. I think that was my last game with Zamalek. After that, I could say not last game, but the debut against Saleh. That was the last game I could play against Saleh before I left. I remember that game quite well, and I remember the scenario of the game because we just came back from Tunisia, All Africans game. We won. We went to Nigeria, and the game here is on Friday. So when we arrived to Nigeria, then I saw Captain, I think the next day I saw Captain Semi Said. Well, may his soul rest in peace. He was then the manager of the team. So I saw him and he came. He said that he's going back with me to Egypt. And I say, hey, Captain, no, I'm not Taban. I'm tired. I say, I'm tired, that I want to rest, you know. And then Captain Said feels so sad, you know. He was so sad. So, you know, he started crying, actually. He started crying because I told him, no, I'm not coming back, that I am tired. I wanted to rest. So he started crying. Then I came to him. I said, Captain, don't cry. I will go with you tomorrow, that I'm going with you. Though he said I should give him my passport. As a guarantee. As a guarantee. I said, don't worry, I'm coming with you. I will meet you at the airport by 10 o'clock. So I said, let me go home and, you know, talk to my parents and tell them that I'm leaving the next day. So I went home and I discussed with my parents. I told them I'm leaving. So when I arrived at the airport around 10 and I saw Captain, he was happy. So I said, I told you I will come. I'm coming. I'm a man of my word. When I say something, I keep it. Then we boarded. We came here. When we arrived here, he said, they said, I should go to camp. I said, no. Let me go home and rest. The next day, I will join the team. The next day, I joined the team and we play. But it was I think that game was played around 1 o'clock. And I could remember, if I'm not mistaken, the referee was a foreign referee they brought in that game. So when I scored the goals and then make an assist, I knew that game is over. Then I just told them to change me, that I'm tired. And I think that was the last game. But it was a very great memory, very great game, because the game between both teams, it's more than derby, it's fighting. You have to fight. But that's the beauty of the game.
Do you remember the game against Ashanti Kutuku in 1993 in the final of the African Champions League where Zamalek won 7-6 by penalties?
Yeah, it was a very tough game. But the success of that game was we didn't lose in Ashanti because they also have good team.
They were a heavy team.
Yeah, they have very, very good and strong team. It was a very good final. And, well, we deserved it, I think. Then we were one of the strongest team in Africa. And,
when you went and like scored the penalty in Ashanti Kutuku in the 7-6 game, how hard was it? How were you pressured?
You know, I have lost a penalty before, so taking that penalty, I just made up my mind not to play style. You know, just hit the ball very hard, and that's exactly what I did. I hit the ball very hard. Although the goalkeeper followed the ball, but you know, when you hit the ball very hard, the fastness of the ball make it much difficult for the goalkeeper to to arrive on time.
Do you remember what Coach Gore at that time, like the head coach of the team, lectured you before the penalties?
Captain Gore, yeah, he lectured us, and also I could remember before our game. In that game, when we were in a hotel close to the stadium, I think, I could not remember the I could not remember the name of the hotel. There was a pitch. I think it was military.
It was a
military hotel, yeah. I could remember there was a pitch there. So I remember in the morning when we trained, or in the evening, we did some tactical build-up with him. Mostly how to press, how to cover, and that was when you start having ideas of the tactical behavior of a team, how you need to function with the ball and without the ball. I think Captain Gwari, is a great coach who has done a lot for Egyptian football. May his soul rest in peace.
After 4 days from now, like next Friday, Zamalek will play against Taraji in the African Super. Can you tell us your expectations about this game?
I think it's going to be a very interesting game.
For the Ahli side, Ahli is going to play against Mamelodi Sundowns, South African team. Ahli lost last year against Sundowns 5-0 in South Africa. So Ahli might want to do a comeback this year. Your expectations for this match?
It's also a very interesting game.
Before moving to the fans' question on Facebook, I want to ask you about your last expectation for the coming derby, Zamalek against Ahli, which is going to be in Dubai in the Egyptian Super Cup.
It's interesting.
Who will win?
I don't know. As
your expectations?
I don't know. I want Zamalek to
You
win.
want Zamalek
to win, but we have to be honest. Ali also is a good side.
It's strong this year.
Very strong side, yeah. Very strong side. They have good players also in the middle, and they have some very interesting offensive players. So it's not going to be easy.
It's going to be a hard game.
It's going to be a hard game.
Okay, let's take the fans' question, which is the last part in our show. So someone is asking you, what will be your reaction when you face Zamalek as a coach this year?
What will be my reaction? Nothing special. I'm a professional. The important thing is to build my players to be ready to play Zamalek, We know Zamalek is a big team compared to Makasa, But when the time comes, we will play them. We will play them. We have respect for them.
In Nigeria, which is more famous, Zamalek or Ahli?
I think Zamalek, because of me.
Yeah, of course.
But now, also Ali have a Nigerian player, Ajayi, and Junior Ajayi. He's doing also great, although maybe he's not in the national team. But of course, people recognize Zamalek and Ali. Zamalek is my team that I play, and I appreciate a lot. But, I hope the two can get to the final. Because if the two get to the final, if anyone wins, it's still success to Egyptian football.
Okay, last question. Who will win the African Champions League this year?
It's difficult.
Yeah, just do an expectation.
Okay, I give it to Zamalek.
You give it to Zamalek?
I give it to Zamalek.
And you hope Zamalek will
I hope they win.
So, Mr. Eimanoiel, by our end of our interview, he expects Zamalek will win. Not just expects, he hopes that Zamalek will win.
Zamalek need to do their job to win it.
Which is?
Which is being ready to compete. It's not to play beautiful football, to compete.
Yeah.
That's the key word. If they can compete, they have chances of.
Coach Eimanoiel, last but not least, please say a word to every Zamalek fan who is watching you right now.
Well, first I say thanks to them, and I say thank you for all the support and all the love you people have shown to me during my playing days in Egypt and in Zamalek, and also the love you continue to show me even when I left Egypt. People still showed the love to me, and today I'm back to Egypt again, and you continue to show the love to me. I hope, inshallah, I will continue to make you people happy. Not as a player, I cannot play anymore, but as a coach, I hope I can, bring something positive to Egyptian football also. And inshallah, only God knows, we will do our best. Thank you very much, and many love from the bottom of my heart.
Coach Eimanoiel, thank you for this chance. And
Shukran, Captain.
No, thank you. You're the captain.